There was a time I thought I was cursed. It felt like nothing but bad things ever happened to me repeatedly. If something could go wrong, it did, and I carried that belief like it was carved into me. I fell into the poor me mindset without even realizing it. If someone gave me attitude, I'd instantly think, what's wrong with me? Why does everyone treat me this way? If something bad happened, I'd say, of course it did. That's just my luck. The more I thought that way, the more I expected the worst. And the more I expected the worst, the more it seemed to show up. It was like living inside a self-fulfilling prophecy. Even when something good was happening, I would sit there and think about how they're going to go wrong because I did not think good things could happen to me. I truly thought I was cursed and I was stuck in that mindset. And here's the dangerous part. Those pity parties started to feel comfortable. I could sink into them, feel sorry for myself, and almost use them as proof that the world hated me. I thought thinking the worst case scenario helped me be prepared and helped me plan to be disappointed. But the truth, that mindset kept me trapped. Hey, it's Aubrey, and today we're going to be talking about the victim mentality. So one night, I hit a breaking point. I was sitting on the floor of my room, crying again, repeating the same thoughts over and over. Why me? Why does this always happen to me? Why isn't the world easier? And then, quietly, in the middle of that spiral, another thought broke through. It wasn't loud, but it was firm, and it said, "No one is coming to save you." At first, it felt harsh, cruel even, but then I realized it was freedom. If no one is coming to rescue me, then I don't have to wait anymore. I don't have to keep hoping the world changes or someone suddenly shows up to fix me or that life magically gets easier. I can be the one who changes it. And that's when something really shifted. My healing didn't start with a big magical moment. It started with a decision. Sitting on that floor, I told myself, no more. No more spiraling, no more pity parties, no more expecting the world to hurt me, no more thinking of worst case scenarios. That was the night I decided, my brain belongs to me, not to my trauma, not to my ego, not to the old stories that kept me small. And here's the truth. This is where the accountability comes in. I had to stop blaming everyone else. Yes, people hurt me. Yes, life was unfair. But as long as I kept pointing fingers and anticipating the worst, I stayed powerless. Taking accountability didn't mean the pain was my fault. It meant my healing was my responsibility. So if you're listening to this and thinking, that's me, I'm stuck in the victim loop, then here are some tools that actually helped me break free. The first one is pattern interruption. When the poor me voice came in, I literally said out loud, stop, that's not the truth anymore. Sometimes I'd even clap my hands or snap my fingers to break the spiral. I have a habit of shaking my hands too, kind of like you're trying to shake water off of them. And it felt silly at first, but it trained my brain to recognize when I was feeding into the old story. Another thing that helped was radical reframing. So every time I caught myself expecting the worst, I forced myself to imagine the best. So, for example, if I thought this conversation is going to blow up, I'd counter it with, what if it actually brings me closer to that person? And over, I rewrote the narrative until my brain finally started to believe it. Journaling was also a big part of my healing journey. Instead of journaling like a victim, like, why me? Why does this always happen? I started asking, what part of this can I take control of? What's one thing I can do differently today? And that question alone saved me from spiraling countless times. The last tip I want to share is to stop waiting for permission. This one was big. I had to stop waiting for people to support me, to validate me, to say, yes, you're good enough. For a long time, I was stuck wanting someone to validate what I was going through, wanting someone to save me. And when I was stuck waiting for someone else, I couldn't allow myself to save myself. So I gave myself permission. I started showing up. I started posting online. I started sharing my story. I stopped hiding, and I decided my voice was worth hearing, even if I was the only one listening. These days, I still face challenges. I still deal with fear, with nerves, and with burnout. But here's the difference. I don't see myself as powerless anymore. I know my brain belongs to me. I know I can shift the story. I know that even if fear shows up, it doesn't get the final say. And the most freeing part, I don't wait anymore. I don't wait for someone to save me or for life to suddenly be perfect. I choose to save myself over and over every single day. So if you're listening right now and you're caught in the poor me spiral, if you feel cursed, if you feel like the world is against you, I want you to pause and hear me. No one is coming to save you, but that doesn't mean you're doomed. It means you have the power. Your healing won't begin when someone else validates you or when life finally gets easier. It begins when you say no more. So ask yourself, what story am I feeding today? What would happen if I stopped waiting and chose to take my life back? Because the moment you decide that, everything begins to shift.